On the morning of September 2, 1894, the sun never rose over Michigan. From Bay City to Ludington, from the Upper Peninsula to the Thumb, the sky turned black. Cattle refused to leave barns. Schoolchildren were sent home. Steamships hugged the shoreline in zero visibility. Some thought it was a solar eclipse. Others thought it was the end of the world. But the cause wasn't in Michigan. It was 400 miles away, burning fast across eastern Minnesota. You're listening to End of the Road in Michigan, where history takes a turn down the forgotten roads of the Great Lakes. I'm Michael Hardy. The fire began near Hinckley, Minnesota, on September 1st. Conditions were perfect for disaster, drought, wind, and dry timber left by logging crews. By late afternoon, a firestorm swallowed the town. Temperatures hit 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit. Trains melted on their tracks. Entire families suffocated or burned. When it was over, more than 400 people were dead. But Michigan didn't just read about the disaster. It felt it. By the next morning, the smoke cloud had drifted across Lake Superior, moving east and south. Michigan was covered by a choking, orange haze, and panic followed. In Sault Ste. Marie, steamers refused to leave port. Reports from September 3rd say the smoke made navigation too dangerous, and vessels waited for daylight that never came. According to the Detroit Free Press, a dull red glare overhung the entire state of Michigan. Farmers from Tuscola, Bay, and Marquette counties plowed around barns trying to stop advancing fires in their own backyards. In East Tawas, the steamer Ossifrage became stranded between Alabaster and Tawas City, caught in zero visibility. Passengers had to wait for tugs to rescue them. Along the south shore of Lake Superior, ship captains couldn't see more than 100 yards ahead. Telegraph lines failed. Trains stopped running. Inland, things weren't any better. Reports from Gladwin County described a red haze and choking heat. Men clearing brush were overtaken by fire in less than 10 minutes, barely escaping with their lives. Others weren't so lucky. The town of Saginaw, in the UP, saw 6 buildings burn. Everett and Ludington reported losses in timber. Entire counties were cloaked in fear and flame. In Pinconning, the swamps burned for 6 days straight. Near Sheboygan, settlers loaded everything onto trains in case they had to flee by rail. Telegraph reports described columns of smoke so thick the sun disappeared for hours. Rail crews were overwhelmed. The Western Union Telegraph Company could only communicate intermittently. Even when the fires weren't local, the smoke shut down communication across the state. In Ludington, a paper noted that many farmers are striving to save their homes, and the sky for several miles outside is covered with a continual cloud of smoke. Even cities far from the flames reported fear. People gathered in churches. Some believed it was the Judgment Day. The total death toll from the Hinckley Fire reached over 400. But it's unknown how many more perished across Michigan due to the secondary fires that ignited in the chaos, or from injuries and smoke inhalation. Within a week, the skies began to clear. But the event left its mark. It showed how vulnerable Michigan was to disaster, not just from its own forests, but from those burning hundreds of miles away. It also showed how fast misinformation and fear could spread. In the years that followed, newspapers would refer to it as the day the sky went black. Today, most remember the Great Hinckley Fire as a Minnesota tragedy. But in 1894, it was very much a Michigan story too. A smoky, terrifying day that made people stop, pray, and wonder if the sun would ever rise again. That's it for this edition of End of the Road in Michigan. If you like this story, share it with a friend or leave a review. It helps more people find the podcast. For more stories like this, visit thumbwind.com or follow us on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening. Until next time.